What is going on, everybody? It is Craig, and we're back with movie number 26. It's going to be the last one that comes out this month, but we got a nice jump. I think we went from. We watched over 10 movies. I think we watched like 12, 13 movies just this month, so we're getting close to being on track to get 100. But as you saw from the thumbnail, House of Inequity from 2023. It's a lot to unpack with this movie. It definitely had good ideas in it, and there were some pretty cool kills. But the problem is, I guess the best way to say it is, there were some things that they showed us that we didn't need to see, and there were some things that we desperately needed to see that they gave us nothing on. Like it opens up back in the past, 70s, 60s, and the kill, and somebody's being chased by cops, and he's carrying something, he's wounded, and he goes into a house. And you don't know at this point yet if he's a good guy, bad cops, or anything like that, but he's definitely a bad guy. He goes into this house, and then the cops see him in the house, they get up to the house, and they're like, come on out, we're going to kill you, it's, you killed all those people, you deserve to die, yada yada. And then the guy inside, after he's killed the people inside, including a little girl, who then is shown later on, because it's called the same name, but she's definitely not the young girl they showed, so they got like an adult actor to play a younger kid, I think, anyway. I mean, unless really bad just visuals. And he kills himself, a sacrifice. So think of Chucky, right? Think of that scene in Charles Lee Ray. I can't remember when Charles Lee Ray with the book, he put his soul into the doll. In this case, this guy kind of put his soul into the house, I guess, and then one day the group, there's one big group, right, of friends, and the one guy is a brother whose parents died, so he didn't take care of his youngest brother. His younger brother got bullied one day, and instead of pursuing the bullies or anything like that, because he's like, you won't always be there, like, took him back home, and they wanted to cheer him up. So like, hey, let's see a movie, let's do this, let's do that. And he's like, no, let's go see this house, like this weird mystery house that's on one of the blogs. And he was just taking pictures on the outside, so I can't fully blame him. But then one of the other dudes is like, hey, we should go inside. Like, you didn't come this long, now really get your traction, right, with the photos? And so then they went inside the house, and then, as you might expect, things go along. They get trapped in a room that they can't get out of, but one by one, they can leave. Which is the thing is, I understand for the first person who went through the door and that crow's behind them, like, and then even the next guy who ran out because his girl was being killed, like, maybe I understand him not thinking. But after when it gets to the very next person and they're standing there arguing, they just get pulled out. They could have all just, once they figured out the door thing, they could all walked out together. Not that it would matter, because me even saying that doesn't matter, because it was a haunted house. The creatures couldn't really be killed, even though they acted like they got killed. They just sprang back up. The kill scenes were intense. I shouldn't say that, it makes it sound better than it is. Kill scenes were good. The surgery gone bad with the teeth, like everyone has a thing, like seeing that, getting teeth knocked out, or something in the eyeball, so it's touching the things that make you squirm a little bit when you see them. But in the end, no one really survives, and I know it's like, oh, why'd you spoil it? These reviews, like, well, you know what, I spoil something to temper expectations, because this movie could have went to a lot of good places, and they should have given more explanation on what the guy did with the spell, because, okay, so he's a ghost, he can haunt the house, but he can also make fear a thing, like, so people were technically killed by their fears. They were killed by, one was killed by a group of crowns, one was killed by, one guy's biggest fear was to actually see his brother dead in front of him, so that happened, and that guy wound up shooting himself. Another one, had his father beat him to death. But that was weird too, because I would think when they saw the father on the camera, they would like, wait, that's his father. What's he doing here? Instead of not knowing it's some weird haunted thing. And at the end, when the guy who sacrificed himself shows up at the end, he's like a Satan-esque character in like the suit. I can let you leave now. Live to old age, but you'll never forget this. And then the guy wound up shooting himself because all his friends were dead, his brother was dead, and in that moment of trauma. it's just, I don't know. It's a really good idea. It essentially tied horror with, I mean, it was like an escape room horror movie without being an escape room, and there's no real exit, but they didn't give you enough information. And when I tell you they showed you stuff you didn't need to see, one of the people who just randomly ran into him, like, oh, I'll go with you. He went with him. He went in the house. He's like, okay, I don't want to be here anymore. He left. Like, they're showing him walking. They're showing him at the bus stop. They're showing him on the bus on the way home. Why? I don't even know anything about the guy. Like, if you want to show he left, he left. Okay. If you wanted to know he didn't die, you could have left. Maybe, but give me more time on what's going on, how these manifestations are happening, what this spell was, yada, yada, yada. But, again, Low Life is already a couple movies ago. I'm going to keep mentioning that because it's so good to me. But this movie, I mean, it does get a passing score by my metrics, but just at that. Just at a 5. If they edited it a little bit differently, gave a little more explanation, it probably could have jumped up to a 6.5. But there was just too many blank spots and a few too many people being really, really stupid. And I understand in horror, like, you need stupidity. Let me investigate the noise by myself. Hey, why don't we split up? Yeah, sure, I'll give you a ride, stranger. I'll get in your car, stranger. What today's world, this is called being an Uber driver or using Uber, but you get it. I don't know, 5 out of 10. Well, movie number 26. I think, like I said, this is probably the last one for the month. If you didn't notice, I've been scheduling them every day. I don't know, try and keep myself a little more consistent, so this is definitely the last one I have in the can. If I watch another movie today, maybe I'll have 2 pop out on tomorrow or today, the day you're watching. I guess you'll see what happens, just so that I could say I'm up to 27, and that slowly gain about closer to 100. But anyway, folks, till next time, peace.